Good day YouTube, my name is Dan and welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. Before we begin, I just wanted to ask your opinion. What do you think of our new intro video? Do you like it or do you not? Leave us some comments because we made the video just for you guys, so what you think of it really matters to us. This is just another step of us taking to try and make this channel the best crypto news channel it can be for you and for us. Today I want to talk to you about a coin that I think is going to take off in the year 2018. First, I think it's going to take off over the next few weeks to a couple of months, and then I think towards the end of the year it's going to have another big run. So it's going to have two runs, going to have a very big 2018. And the coin I'm talking about is Omisego. Omisego is a blockchain project of the parent company Omisego. Omisego is a payment processing company in Asia, and its main hubs are in Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, and Japan. Omisego is actually a very big payment processing company. It's one of the partners of Alipay, which is the world's biggest payment platform, but it's also in itself has over 50,000 merchants, and over 420 million customers. In 2016, the company was labeled FinTech Rockstar by the Forbes. Now then, what is Omisego project? From their website, Omisego is the answer to a fundamental coordination problem amongst payment processors, gateways, and financial institutions. By enabling decentralized exchange on a public blockchain at high volume and low cost, Omisego provides a next-generation value transfer service operating across currencies and asset types. Through the Omisego network connected to the Ethereum mainnet, anyone will be able to conduct financial transactions such as payments, remittance, payroll, deposits, B2B commerce, supply chain finance, loyalty programs, asset management, and trading, and other on-demand services in a completely decentralized and inexpensive way. Wow! I don't think you caught that. The reason I read that out for you is because I want to impress upon you that Omisego is a very ambitious project. It's probably one of the most ambitious blockchain projects currently in the market. It's trying to do a lot of things. It's not just trying to be a cryptocurrency payment. Okay, it's not just a currency for payment. It's designed to be so much more. The way that Omisego is going to try and go about to achieve all of this is through two means. Okay, there are two main structures or pillars to their project. Is first, it's the Omisego blockchain, which is a decentralized exchange, and the second is the Omisego white label wallet. Let me explain what these two pillars are, and once you understand them, then the whole Omisego project kind of makes sense in terms of what it is. You can find details about the wallet from the website when you click on product, and it brings you to this page. And the product is basically an app. It's a wallet app, okay, that is very flexible. Not only can you do payments and transfers, but you will also have additional aspects such as loyalty and reward points, which is nice. But more than that, okay, the e-wallet has a cross-wallet transaction, which means that you don't just use their wallet, it can interact with other wallets that you are already currently using to pay for things, and you can get the benefits of the other wallets such as earn point, win prizes, and collect rewards. So it's really a very it's a technology that is designed for other companies to use and integrate into their existing wallet as well. Now, their blockchain or their exchange is a little bit more complicated. The best way to think of it is to think of it as an exchange that we are familiar with, okay, like Bittrex or Coinbase or Binance, but with a couple of additional traits to it, very special kind of features that make it stand out. The first is that it's going to be currency agnostic, and what this means, let me try and give you an example. Okay, at the moment now, if I have altcoin token, let's say I have Tron token, and I want to change it to EOS token, what I would have to do is I would have to go through the default pairing on the exchange, Ether or Bitcoin, change it to Bitcoin or Ether, or if I wanted to, I could change it to fiat or world currency like USD, and then I would change that back to EOS. So I have to do a double transaction. Agnostic currency system means that I can change directly from Tron to EOS, and it doesn't just extend to cryptocurrency, which in itself would be game changing, it extends to fiat currency as well. So the implications of this is huge. Firstly, because service providers will be very attracted to use the Omisego technology then as a payment platform, because it will allow people to choose whether they want to pay in crypto or whether they want to pay in fiat. But more than that though, if you think about it in terms of traveling, so if I was to travel through Southeast Asia, I would go from Singapore to Malaysia to Thailand to Burma and then to Cambodia. Every time I cross a country's border, I have to look for a local money changer, and I have to almost be I have to go along with whatever exchange rate they want, even if I think it's unfair, because I need the currency to use in the country. I have no choice. But with the Omisego exchange, I can just change currency on the exchange itself. I don't need to find a money changer. That's how powerful this platform will be. The other unique feature of the Omisego exchange is that it will be decentralized. So the exchanges that we are familiar with these days, like Bittrex, Coinbase, and Binance, again, just as examples, okay, they are all centralized exchanges. What does that mean? It means that from the moment we sign up with the company and we send them our documents to verify our identity, to every transaction that we make, whether it's financial transaction from fiat to crypto or whether it's crypto to crypto, all of these transactions and our personal details are stored on their local server. The problem with that is that local servers can get hacked, and this has happened multiple times in crypto history, and so people have lost lots of money because a hacker will come in, hack into the exchange server and steal the money of the people. That's why we always say that if you are investing a decent sum of money into cryptocurrency, you should also invest in a hardware wallet like Ledger or Trezor, so that no one can steal your money. But exchanges then, because they are centralized and they have the details on a local server, they can be hacked and stolen. But what a decentralized exchange does is then it uses the blockchain, right? So it uploads all the information into different pieces of encryptions all across the blockchain that is verified multiple times. So if someone wants to hack into the blockchain, for example, which is reportedly at this point unhackable, they can't do it, because what it means is that out of the thousands of people who are verifying, or tens of thousands, they have to find the 30 or 40 that are verifying that transaction, and then they have to hack into all 30 or 40 sites at the very same time and change the information at exactly the same moment. This is impossible to do, and that's why people say that the blockchain is unhackable in that sense. And what Omisego is doing is just simply taking the fundamentals of what the blockchain is and bringing it into real world. And so it's because of this decentralized feature of the Omisego technology, that is why a couple of days ago there was very big news that was released that Omisego makes a deal with the Thailand government. Okay. According to the deal, Omisego will develop a payment system as well as an identification system for the Thai government. More details was released about the identification system, and it's huge. This is the next article. The government of Thailand will release the digital passport in partnership with Ethereum startup Omisego. The company Omisego has signed a partnership agreement with the Ministry of Digital Technologies Thailand for collaboration on system identification and online payments on the national scale. The government hopes that the introduction of digital ID cards for citizens will help to reduce fraudulent activities in the network and to protect consumers. So this is massive, right? ID fraud is a huge problem in Southeast Asia. Now, you might say ID fraud is a huge problem in the world. That is true, but some parts of the world struggle with it more than others, and Southeast Asia, unfortunately, is one of those regions that really struggle with ID fraud. Now, if the identity cards and the passports of people can be uploaded onto the blockchain, it cannot be copied, it cannot be made as a fraud. And so this addresses a massive problem in the world that governments struggle with. Now, if this takes off for Thailand, and this is the first such initiative between a government and a blockchain project. But if this takes off, okay, you can imagine that the other countries in that region who also struggle with similar ID fraud problems will be turning to Omisego to ask to partner with them to solve this problem. This is huge because it opens up the gateways not just for the partnership with one government, but partnerships with government in the region, potentially across very specific regions across the whole world. The other big partnership of Omisego that we are probably all aware of is that they are partnered with the Macdonalds Thailand, who have chosen them to be the exclusive payment gateway. These are a list of the other partners that they have, which includes SCG, DTech, Thai Airway, Allianz, and all their partners are massive industries. Most of them have over $1 billion market cap. But partnership isn't the only thing that is impressive about Omisego. The other thing that is really impressive about this project is their board of advisors. If you look here, some of the names are just astounding. This is like an all-star team put together. I doubt that you will find another crypto project with as star-studded a team as this team is. Look here, you got Vitalik Buterin, who is the founder of Ethereum. You've got Joseph Poon, who is the co-author of the Lightning Network. You've got Gavin Wood, who's co-founder of Ethereum. You've got Julian Zaristowski, who is the founder of Golem, and so on and so on, like many more big names like Roger Ver and others. This is a star-studded team. The other thing that I think is very smart of Omisego is that they've decided to play on the strengths of the geographical location of the world that they are in. Let me explain what I mean. They've marketed themselves as Unbank the Bank with Ethereum. This wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to the Western world who believes in the banks, but they are located mainly in Southeast Asia. And in Southeast Asia, you've got a very unique population where over 65% of the population do not have a bank account. I don't know why this is. Maybe it's because there is a lack of understanding, or maybe there is a lack of access to the banks, but for some reason 65% of the population don't have access to the bank. Okay, and there's a lot of cash transactions and also e-commerce transactions. I mean, this very unique small part of the world owns 40% of all the world's e-commerce trades. Just imagine that. So very huge volume of e-commerce happening, but people don't really go to the banks, or don't trust the banks, or don't like the banks for some reason. Okay, imagine if you're Omisego and you come into the market and you offer them, a simple alternative to having a bank. You say, look, instead of having a bank and needing a bank book and getting bank statements, all you need is a smartphone, and you can basically put your money into a wallet on the smartphone and do peer-to-peer exchanges. You can pay for things with this. This is very attractive to people in the region. So I think this is a very smart move by Omisego to play on the strengths of their geographical location. Now, the Omisego project is not perfect, and one of the struggles that it might potentially face is scalability. So if you're going to have governments using it and McDonald's using it, the volume of transactions is going to be huge. Omisego is a ERC20 token, so in other words, it's built on the Ethereum network, and we know that Ethereum network is currently struggling with scalability because it can't handle the volume. So this is something that the Omisego has actually had enough foresight to see way ahead of time. So even last year in October, when they published out their roadmap, part of their roadmap for the end of this year was to incorporate plasma development into it. What is plasma development? Ethereum has come up with 3 potential solutions to solve its scalability problem. The first is Raiden, the next is sharding, and then the third is plasma. And it's onto plasma that Omisego has kind of decided to jump on. Now, how fast is the plasma network going to be when Omisego jumps onto it or practically implements it at the end of the year? I found a Reddit post that showed it in a very clear but yet amusing way. So currently Bitcoin does 7 transactions per second. Ethereum is just a little bit over, like 16 transactions per second. PayPal does 193, Ripple does 1,500, Visa does 56,000. So this is where the world's transactions currently is. Plasma promises 1 million. Okay, you didn't hear wrong, 1 million transactions per second. So if you look at the transaction speed, okay, this is what it is going to look like. So in that sense, scalability, which is one of the Omisego's biggest potential problem at this point in time, could turn out to be their biggest strength by the end of the year. Another feature of Omisego that is worth knowing is the proof of stake. And this is going to happen soon in the second quarter. There's Omisego proof of stake public blockchain release staking possible. Let me explain what this means. So traditionally in cryptocurrency, if you want to earn the token on the site, you can do what is called mining. Mining involves getting a very high-end computer with very good graphics card that will consume a lot of electricity, and you set it up to do the transactions for the currency, for example Bitcoin or Ether, and in return for doing the transactions for these cryptocurrencies, you have a chance of finding 1 Bitcoin or 1 Ether, or finding a token. So this is the reward you get, and this whole process is called mining. It uses the system called proof of work. Omisego is going to use a different system called the proof of stake. This is going to be done through the Casper network. What proof of stake is a lot simpler. You don't need high-end equipment. What you're going to do is token holders have an option to stake their tokens. In other words, you deposit it and you cannot touch it for a period of time. And your tokens then serve to validate the transactions that happen on the platform. So in other words, at the end of the year, okay, depending on the amount of tokens you have staked, Omisego will give you a reward or a certain percentage of interest back. So for example, if I was to give you a rough, this is just a hypothetical play with numbers. If Omisego transactions cost 1% of all transactions, and let's say 1% of all the transactions would come to $140 million for the year. Omisego has a maximum total supply of 140 million tokens. So in this case, it would mean that every token that year would have earned $1 of interest. So if you had staked 50 tokens of Omisego, you would have earned $50 as interest by the end of the year. Staking then would have 3 potential effects on Omisego and the price of the token, the way I see it. The first is that it's happening in the second quarter, so I foresee that people will want to buy Omisego before this happens, between now and the second quarter, because they will want to stake on Omisego. The second thing is that because then you got a portion of the tokens that are locked in, so your amount of liquidity or the amount of movable tokens on the market becomes less. Potentially this will increase the price of the tokens because they have more value per token now. And the last thing, as I kind of mentioned before in my previous videos, staking is not designed for the sake of rewarding the token holders. Staking is designed to provide stability for the project. So where as a cryptocurrency, Omisego would have some degree of volatility now, okay, when a certain portion of the token holders decide to stake it, okay, that you got like 30% maybe of the tokens now that are not going to be sold, whether the market goes up or down. It provides a certain stability to the project, which attracts big investors. So for all these reasons, okay, I think the proof of stake, when it happens in quarter 2, will push the token price up for Omisego. If we just look at the roadmap here and see what's going to happen, I think that they have quite big things happening between now to the end of the year. In quarter 1, they are due to have their wallet SDK public release. So this is releasing the technology for companies to incorporate the Omisego technology onto their wallet platforms. Quarter 2, you got the proof of stake coming, okay, and then between the quarter 3 and 4, the second half of the year, you've got the cash in and out touchpoint interface with the payment gateway, and then you've got the plasma development and introduction. So all of these is going to be huge for Omisego. Okay, you couple the events on their roadmap, which is very consistently released throughout the year, and together with the recent partnerships, which means that the practical use of Omisego in the world is going to be increasing over the course of this year. All of these, I think, will indicate to us that the price of Omisego should just keep going up throughout the year on the big scale of things. So let's look at the price of Omisego at the moment. At the moment, Omisego is ranked 21 on CoinMarketCap. I think at its peak, it was ranked number 13 on CoinMarketCap before. I do see Omisego as having the potential to be one of the top 10 projects on in CoinMarketCap because firstly, I think it's one of the most advanced projects on the Ethereum network, which is the biggest platform. But also, the second thing is, as we covered, Omisego is a very ambitious project. The exchange currency, in terms of it being a currency for transactions, is only one small aspect of its entire project. If you look at the top 10, there are quite a number of coins there that are actually simply currencies for transactions, and even on that aspect of its project, okay, I think that Omisego is doing comparatively well in terms of partnership and technology compared to some of those on the lower end of the top 10 like Dash. And so I'm not saying that those are not good projects. I'm saying they are very good projects, but Omisego is somewhat comparable to them, at least. I wouldn't put it on the same level as Ripple, but definitely, I think it's climbing its way up the ladder, and I see its worth at least somewhere in the top 10 in terms of its achievements so far. But more than that, if we just have a quick look at the technical analysis for Omisego, okay, this is the price of Omisego over the last few months, and it's interesting. You look at the way it's gone up in December until early Jan, and then it's come down. It's almost like a typical Elliott wave, so you got one bump here, two bumps, and then the peak, and then you've come down one bump here, two bumps, and then the bottom. And what I think we're seeing here, okay, is another Elliott wave, the start of a second Elliott wave for Omisego. In fact, I think it's a bit reflective of the overall market as a whole. I think that on the market as a whole, we might be coming into a bull run time. Okay, where I think we are at is right here. Okay, we've just crossed the peak of wave 1, and we're going to have a correction. So I actually think that over the next few days to next few weeks, the market might see a little bit of a dip. Okay, not as low as the bottom of January, but a little bit of a dip, and then we're going to come back up. How low might that dip get? The dip might probably come to the point of resistance. So here you see, as we went up, okay, we met this line of resistance that we saw back in December, that we saw back in January, and we saw again now in February. And so we hit the line of resistance, we tested it, we didn't cross it, and so now we're going to come down a little bit to the, now how low would we fall, in case anyone's guess? But okay, I think at the most that we will fall would be to the support line. Okay, the support line is somewhere between $14 to $12.60, so around that range. Okay, now the thing about support line though is that a support line is just that, it's a support line or a bottom line of resistance. The price doesn't have to fall to the support line. What it means is that if the price does fall, you can expect some resistance here. So the price isn't just going to plummet to like $10 suddenly. You will expect the price to kind of hover here and then potentially turn upwards again. So this is what I think that how I might approach this over the next few days to few weeks. And once again, please let me say, I'm not a professional, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not me telling you what to do. This is me just sharing with you my thoughts about what I think I might do. This is definitely not advice for you to buy or not buy Omisego. In fact, my advice to you would be do your own homework, look at a few more sources, and then make your own decision about what you want to do with the information you have then got. Okay, but what I'm thinking at this point in time is that I probably wouldn't jump in on it right now. I might wait to see it fall a little bit more, and then if it falls to like 14.30 or just above the $14 mark, what I might do is I might take a small position, and then over the next few days from there I might take a subsequent position, so to kind of average out, just in case I miss the pit bottom or it suddenly rises, or so I'm just going to take an average of it, and then once I see it curve up, I'm just going to stop buying and then just enjoy the ride up, which I think will be wave 3 on the Elliott wave, and it's just going to be a long wave. In terms of the Elliott wave, okay, the reasoning or behind the Elliott wave is that wave 1 is where you've just come off a bad market crash, which we have, and a lot of people have lost confidence in the market, so investors are quite cautious, which is true. Okay, and right now you see that this is true, you know. In the overall scheme of things, the Bitcoin dominance has gone up, which means that a lot of people are actually moving their positions from altcoins back to Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin is kind of taking the lead in terms of the market coming back. But even Bitcoin today has started on a correction, I believe. Alright, so wave 1 is where people are a bit cautious. Okay, wave 3, okay, is the strong wave. It's where the fundamentals of the projects are really displayed, and then the good projects will kind of take off. Okay, and in this case, I think once we have the next dip, you know, even now, okay, investors have been burnt a little bit, and they're somewhat cautious, and they are kind of looking more carefully into the projects. It's not so much FOMO anymore, you know, just jumping on the next Bitcoin. Everyone's kind of really studying whether or not the blockchain project or the coin is worth jumping onto. And I think that the more people study, the more projects like Omisego will begin to stand out with its outstanding partnership, its technology, its practical use in the world. It will begin to capture attention of people, and I see certain coins like Omisego and Ripple then really taking off on wave 3. So I think wave 3 is going to be a good wave for Omisego, and then you partner this with the roadmap and some of the information they're going to release, like the staking and stuff. I think it will go up, and then I think that it will have another correction, and then wave 5 is typically where there is a bit of overhype and everyone's just too excited, too much adrenaline, everyone's just buying, and then after that comes the correction. So that's kind of the rough psychology, I guess, behind the Elliott wave. And one last thing in terms of the market condition that I think may help to boost Omisego a little bit is that right now you've got Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin is seeing about 39% market dominance. What I think will happen, and it has happened in seasons before, is that when Bitcoin kind of hits its peak and begins to just trail off a little bit, okay, people move out of Bitcoin back into the altcoins, and then the altcoins has its surge. You know, we saw this last year in September where Bitcoin was having its big run, and then after that we saw people move out of Bitcoin onto the altcoins, and then towards the end of last year, November, December, start of January, we saw the altcoin really surge like never seen before. So I do think that in a few weeks to a couple of months time, when the market picks up, firstly you will see people moving out of Bitcoin back into the altcoins, and I think that there will also be new people who will be attracted to the market at that point in time, new investors, which means new money into the market. So I think that's another surge that altcoin holders like Omisego can look forward to. So if you look at it from all aspects, whether it's technical analysis, whether it's the general crypto market condition, whether it's the roadmap or the recent partnerships and the speculative partnerships they may have in the future, on all fronts, you know, Omisego is looking very green, very healthy. So I think that even if someone bought at the, you know, the supposed wave 1 peak right now, okay, I think that by the end of the year, the price of Omisego is only going to go up very, very significantly. How high it might go, okay, I don't know, but I would predict that it would enter the top 10, okay, and the market cap of the number 10 cryptocurrency at the moment is Dash, sitting at 4.79, just 4.8 billion. So if Omisego currently has a market cap of 1.6, so that's I don't know, 2.5, you know, so almost 3 times 300% return. But I think that there's a very good chance that Omisego will go higher than that, you know. If Omisego now is sitting at $15.96, and so let's say $16, you know, I would not be surprised if it's over $50-$60 by the end of the year. Some people have predicted even $100. I don't know about that, but definitely $50. I can see that happening by the end of the year. So that's my take on Omisego, guys. I hope that was helpful for you, or interesting for you at least. If you like this video, please give us a like and a subscribe. It will really help us to grow this channel to be the great channel that we want it to be. And have a very great day, and we will see you next time.